What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE planted that fan, Jade Cargill claps back at haters, backstage heat on a WWE star, a WWE fan is facing prison time, an epic heel turn incoming, fans are angry over WWE's booking, John Cena taking time off, a legend returning to WWE, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. But now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at major matches set for Evolution. Now our top story today takes a look at what matches can be expected on the WWE Evolution Premium Live event. WWE have just 2 weeks to build a highly anticipated show, and thanks to a new report from Body Slam, we now know numerous matches that are set for the show. The first match will see Io Sky defend a women's world title against Rhea Ripley. This match was expected by many as Ripley has teased coming for the women's title on numerous occasions. Ripley is expected to open Raw tonight, and that's exactly when the challenge will be issued. Our fan response to the report is mixed, as a lot of fans were enjoying a period of time of Ripley away from the world title scene. Some fans are even dubbing her as Ripley Hogan. Additionally, criticism has also been offered towards the fact that Ripley will likely win the match, and many feel like Triple H has massively dropped the ball when it comes to Sky's reign. If Sky defends her title at Evolution, it'll mark her first title defense since WrestleMania, which is an awful statistic for a world champion. The report from Body Slam also says that Raquel Rodriguez and new partner Roxanne Perez will also defend the titles in a triple threat match at the show, though there's no word on who their opponents will be. There were rumors that the Bella Twins will be competing for the tag titles on the show, so they may still be involved in some capacity. And finally, Body Slam has also revealed that WWE plans to hold a Battle Royal at Evolution. The winner of the Battle Royal will head to Clash in Paris to receive a women's title match. But this match card on paper definitely sounds like a mixed bag. The card feels rather thrown together, and it's evident that the injury to Liv Morgan drastically altered things, as fans are firmly expecting Becky Lynch to defend the women's Intercontinental title versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, but the match has yet to be confirmed. But there has been an update on Liv Morgan, as she has recently undergone surgery on her shoulder and is now starting the road to recovery, and we wish her all the best. Next up, a legend returning to WWE. Now speaking of Evolution, the show could be about to see a WWE Hall of Famer appear. According to Fightful Select, Trish Stratus is potentially going to compete on the show, but nothing is currently locked in. A WWE legend has been pushed for an upcoming PLE spot. WWE Evolution is right around the corner, with the card still taking shape. There are many question marks regarding the possibility of who could be on the show. Liv Morgan's injury caused some shuffling, but WWE is still waiting to find out who exactly will be on the show. WWE sources told Fightful during Night of Champions weekend that they've expressed interest in Trish Stratus appearing and competing on the WWE Evolution show. However, they claim that nothing was locked in as of the weekend. However, there are potential creative options for next week if she ends up doing it. We've not learned specifically what those options are. Now, it's worth noting that as things stand, Stratus is currently advertised for the show and is directly featured in the promo package promoting the event. There are rumors circulating on social media that Stratus could be facing Tiffany Stratton. This would be a smart booking move from WWE, as the two have had history from earlier in the year, and it'd be an excellent showcase of past versus present. Next up, WWE planted a fan. And one of the talking points in Night of Champions focused on CM Punk and Punk apologizing for his tweet related to Saudi Arabia and The Miz. According to the Wrestling Observer Radio, the fan was almost certainly a plant. That obviously was planted. Somebody wanted him to apologize, and he did, because he's not exactly the apologetic type for one thing. I thought he came off just horrible. They made him apologize. Triple H was like, oh, it's so grown up of him to apologize, and it's like, perfect. But whatever. I just thought, it could be worse, but it's wrestling and it's to be expected. Now interestingly, the fan that was allegedly a plant was in the front row of Night of Champions, and Punk would even hug him following the show. It seemed all too coincidental. Next up is there backstage heat on a WWE name. There's been concern from fans that Kairi Sane has backstage heat. Sane was involved in the matches which both saw Zoe Stark and Liv Morgan suffer serious injuries, and whilst it clearly wasn't Sane's fault, there was concern that Sane would be blamed by default. Thankfully, a report from Fightful Select has confirmed that isn't the case, as there's no heat whatsoever on Sane. There is zero heat whatsoever. Zoe's was an accident that happened when she jumped off the top rope. Liv was a freak accident on a basic move. Kairi was very concerned backstage. Sane was even forced to comment on the matter on social media, and this was likely due to fans targeting Sane and blaming her for the recent injuries. Next up, Jade Cargill claps back at haters. Now, the Saudi fans weren't exactly the biggest fans of Queen of the Ring Jade Cargill. Cargill was excessively booed during her appearance both on SmackDown and at Night of Champions, and as Cargill was making her way backstage following a victory over Asuka, fans were once again booing her to an extreme extent. Cargill would decide to clap back and at one fan by stating, "Boo your mama." This comment received some laughs, but the fan in question decided to go a step too far by screaming "F you" at Cargill. Cargill hasn't done anything to receive this type of hate, and screaming that kind of language at a babyface is bizarre behavior that shouldn't be encouraged. Next up is John Cena getting a new theme. Is it possible that WWE Champion John Cena is getting a new theme? Despite Cena outright stating that he wasn't willing to change his theme song, Metro Boomin, who's wanted to produce new WWE theme songs for a while, took to X this weekend and he was producing a track, and on his desk he had a replica of Cena's US title. Now, this could also be a red herring from Metro, but the US title picture could also imply that he's working on a theme song for one of the two respective WWE US champions, those of course being Solo Sikoa or Julia. Interestingly, there's a solo cut presented in the shot which could heavily imply that Boomin is working on a new song for Sikoa. Now, it wouldn't make a ton of sense for WWE to authorize a new theme for Cena, especially when the retirement tour is over halfway through, so it's likely that the theme is for an alternative WWE star. Next up, WWE have huge plans for a new champion. The WWE are clearly huge fans of Julia, and they're directly telling the audience on TV that the new US champion is going to be a key player in the women's division for years to come. According to the Observer Radio, Julia is now being positioned as a top star in the company, and this all started with the women's US title victory. Vega was, one of those, to give people belts, right? But they're not serious about them at that level. Julia's like someone who they're grooming to be like one of the top stars. Julia is rumored to be defending a title at Evolution, but it remains unclear who she'll be facing at the big event. Next up, an epic heel turn incoming. The seeds have been firmly planted for Randy Orton to turn heel. Orton almost hit a punt kick on Cody Rhodes at Night of Champions, and we can all see from his face following the match with Rhodes that he was reverting back to his 2009 ways. But with that being said, WWE are now setting up a rematch between Orton and Rhodes, but this time with Orton as a certified heel. Obviously, they're setting up Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton for a bigger match with Randy Orton as a heel. I could even see Randy Orton cost Cody the match with Cena if they want to keep Cena as champion for a couple more months. Turning Orton heel would be a risky move from WWE, and as we all saw during Night of Champions, Orton isn't getting booed in any scenario, so even if he turns against the beloved American Nightmare, it's unlikely that he's going to be universally booed. Orton is at the point of his career where the fans just have no interest in booing anything he does. Yeah, he does his finest work as a bad guy, but at this point in time, it may be in WWE's best interest to keep Orton in his babyface role. But that being said, if anyone can somehow find a way to get the fans to hate him again, it's Orton. Orton would definitely have to go to a deep and dark place, and for that turn to work, it would have to be handled with care and attention. Next up, fans angry over WWE's booking. Whilst WWE committed to booking Karrion Kross on the Night of Champions match card, there's a lot of anger amongst the fanbase that Kross didn't pick up the W over Sami Zayn. But this anger is now translated over to YouTube dislikes, as WWE's official highlights video for the aforementioned match features over 8,000 dislikes and counting. It'll be interesting to see if this negativity and anger comes across on television. Next up, a WWE fan facing prison. Now, we recently reported that Liv Morgan had a very creepy stalker that lurked right outside her house in Florida. The fan even also had a very dangerous pellet gun by his side. But whilst Liv is on the road to recovery after suffering an injury on last week's Raw, she also has to deal with this insane stalker. The man believed to be Sean Chan stalking Morgan was arrested near the WWE Performance Center. Sean Chan from Scarborough, Ontario, Canada, reportedly flew from Toronto to Orlando on May 26 and allegedly told customs officials that he was staying at the Performance Center, but just 5 days later he appeared at Morgan's private residence and he was caught on camera trying to open a door and searching for a spare key. The man stayed on the property for 2 hours and left a note indicating he'd been there. And Chan was then taken into custody after WWE security identified him from the surveillance footage. He's scheduled to appear in Orlando Federal Court on July 18, 2025, where he will be arraigned on a charge of interstate domestic violence, and if convicted, he could face up to 5 years in prison. And finally, is Cena taking time off? Now, our final story today takes a look at when fans can expect John Cena back on television. Cena's retirement is edging closer and closer, and now Cena will take a short leave of absence from WWE television whilst they build Saturday night's main event and Evolution. Currently, the reigning WWE champion isn't scheduled to make an appearance before the July 18th edition of SmackDown, and this will likely commence Cena's SummerSlam rivalry, which is likely to be versus Cody Rhodes. There continues to be vocal calls from fans to see WWE pivot away from this creative plan. The desire to see a rematch between Cena and Rhodes just simply isn't there, and the common consensus amongst fans is that WWE should turn the match into a multi-man contest. Fans are throwing out the idea of adding CM Punk or Randy Orton, or even perhaps both, into the match. Whilst this could be a thrilling matchup, it looks like Punk will finish his rivalry with Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, and it was reported a number of months ago that Orton will be wrestling SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis on the show. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.